bartender, I need a drink. Hi, everyone. Welcome to FMTrain.tv for another awesome day of training at the 1 o'clock time frame for California. However, we have people here. It's actually 2 in the morning. They are so dedicated to the FileMaker platform that they will be here presenting with us today. It's kind of a monkey bread day. We will get to Christian Schmitz momentarily, talking about his awesome product, which is really quite good. If you don't have it, you should definitely think about checking it out and purchasing it. So I have the Discord going over here. That's good. That's awesome. Come down here, do that. So yeah, so what we're going to do is I'm going to have questions and comments going here. I'm going to put this over here for now. So we are broadcasting at FMTrain.tv in high definition to Twitch, Discord, YouTube, and I want to welcome everyone. Feel free to ask questions along the way. We really appreciate the interaction, the feedback. That allows us to customize the conversation for you. Now, this is kind of a conversation. It's not just a memorized dialogue from one person. It's a two-way conversation. So if I don't get Mikey or Carol from Oakland or Alex or Brutterman or someone to ask questions, then it makes it very boring. Canberra, Foxy Jack, Kadidi, Jake, Jericho, Ken is there, Kyle's here, Larry from the Marines is there, who's trying to learn Linux, which is awesome. Megan is there, Moki's there, probably going to cause some problems knowing him. Nathan Schneider is there, awesome. Nathan, I miss Nathan. I don't talk to Nathan that often. And then Scott came and Tom and Delta 18, and of course Margaret is one of our moderators that is there. Real quick, so upcoming, let's talk about upcoming broadcast schedule and who are we and why should you care. So this is FMTrain.tv, where we are legitimately every day creating content, creating education for you, because you're the FileMaker people out there who do low-code applications. You're building low-code. Some days we do almost no code. A lot of it's low-code. Some days it's pro-code, professional grade development, even on a low-code platform. And FileMaker is great for that. And so frequently you are the unsung heroes of your organization, the people that keep it running, keep it going, and you're not appreciated enough. I'm just telling you, I know that to be a fact, but I appreciate you. I really do. And I appreciate the community that we've created here. It's really awesome. So the FileMaker platform, the community is really quite good. So upcoming broadcast schedule, if I'm going to hit the opening button here. This is the upcoming broadcast schedule for those of you wondering about that. So today is Monkey Bread, tomorrow. But it's an interesting conversation about the quick authoring and where that is going, right? So that's kind of interesting. And then real quick, then Friday, a return of Kyle Williams. And getting Kyle excited about stuff. Kyle talks like this. He's very monotone. He doesn't talk very excitedly. And he keeps talking about SQL and custom functions. So we have to inject some enthusiasm to Kyle. And so he's going to be covering text editors on Friday. Very exciting. Monday's a holiday in the United States. It's July 5th, but it's the July 4th holiday. And so I'm not sure what's going to be happening. Probably nothing. I'm pretty sure we have no live stream scheduled. But never say never. And then Tuesday we begin to talk about the conversation. I told Margaret to kind of rename these, but Nick Hunter is going to be giving away the FM Gallery product. He's working on a pro version, so the people who have paid for it are going to get the pro one for free in the future. Don't ask for a date on that; it's in the future. But in the meantime, the current one in market will be a free handout. But we do appreciate the people who've done that. They will be sending them a note letting them know that they will be getting a free upgrade in the future that other people would otherwise have to pay for. But the basic product is pretty good. Additionally, he is making work on the neomorphism FM starting point. So he finished the custom theme and he's starting some of the layout design work, which is good. Hopefully he continues that. We should encourage him to get that finished up for us. So various schedules next week. As a reminder, this broadcast is totally free for people. The education, the training is great. If you want to support the channel, definitely, I'm going to mute that. If you want to support the channel, definitely check out our video training. So if you go to fmtraining.tv over here, the website, you can hit the live button, but you look at our bundles. Purchase one of the bundles. Keep your bundle up to date. This training is really, really, really good. It's about 90 hours of content. Check out our training, buy our training. Now, pivoting real quick to something else. In fact, we have to get Margaret, we got to see if we can get our one of our video guys, see if we can get David Castillo to join this chat. I don't know if he can come in here or not, but that would be really great. So if I go to Monkey Bread, I've come to the conclusion that this is not the right name for Christian Schmitz company. So this product right here is fantastic. It's what we're going to be talking about today. It's one of like I have 3 go-to vendors for plugins that do critical things that I need, and so Christian Schmitz is going to talk to you today about this a little bit. But I think that this software should be called Swiss Army Monkey, as in like a Swiss Army knife, right? David Castillo, are you there?
Yes, sir. Just joined.
So we need to take this monkey here and cut it out and take a really nice high-res photograph of like a Swiss Army knife with like all the little doohickeys sticking out of it, and put the monkey on the side of it, right? Because this is a Swiss Army monkey. It's monkey bread. This is 6,000. Imagine a knife or a little pocket tool, right? Like, so in my pocket I have a knife, but imagine the tool, and it flips out with 6,500 things, right? What's that?
May I show you something?
May you show me something? Well, you can, but I'm not done telling you everyone how wonderful you are. But yeah, if you want to show me something, go ahead.
He had his Swiss Army knife out.
Oh, there went. Well, now hang on. Margaret's talking. I'm gonna go back to this. Yeah, that's a Swiss Army knife.
So,
yeah, but
let me just open it.
It says monkey bread on it. Yeah. Yo, wow, look at that.
So we gave them out at a conference.
but that Swiss Army monkey only has about 5 or 10 functions on that. I need the ultimate Swiss Army knife image from you, David Castillo. I want people to feel like there's 6,000 different widgets on this thing. Okay, I want it to be so big that you have to have a semi truck dragging around it. So big. Okay, you understand?
Yes, sir.
So that would be awesome. Feel free to dump that on me. So, continuing with so Monkey Bread is interrupting my promotional moment for him. That's fine. I wanted to point something out today. So, one of the Garretts that works for me, I have more than one now, unfortunately, which is kind of too bad. But one of the Garretts that works for me came up with a solution this morning to fix some problems, and he ended up solving it. Which is really kind of funny. He ended up solving it. Where's the engineering thread?
I think it's RC. It's down. There you go.
Oh, okay. So this is for Margaret. If you want to post this or figure out how to post this, this is for the people are asking me about the dock for the M1. So I'm going to take care of this. It's the dock for the M1. It's probably a Chinese box, but at the end of the day, inside this thing, it uses a USB-C to connect your M1. And it has a bunch of connectors here and some other on the back, and then on the bottom is a spot for a 2.5 inch SSD, or 2.5 inch drive, should be an SSD, and you stick it on the bottom. So it's an external drive, and I like this dock, and it's like $79. It's like, man, every one of these we need that. So that's really great. Let me get rid of that. So then I'm going to go back up here. There was a conversation about which Garrett is which, and I don't know which Garrett is which anymore. But I want to point this out. So one of the Garretts said, "Hey, we have this. I have this problem. Here's the problem." He says, "A useful script to convert HEIC photos to JPEG. Customer has a tech that won't listen or change his iPad settings." So HEIC, for those of you wondering about this, is a new standard, a new image compression standard, and of course, it's supported by newer applications. It's supported by newer operating systems. FileMaker, I think, in some newer version supports it, whatever the case is. But the point is that there are some things that don't support it, so he needed to convert it. And how did he convert? I figured he had some little thing, but no, what he does, he got out the Monkey Bread plugin, which Richard Carlton bought for my team. I bought it for my team, and he went over here and he wrote this script right here. So Margaret's going to get a screenshot of this and post this up too. But basically, he goes through one of the 6,500 functions, and it goes in and it converts the image to a JPEG, right? And so without me knowing all about this, it doesn't really matter, but I'm sure that there's probably a sample file in there, but we are happy to tell everyone that we eat our own dog food. We use FileMaker, we use Monkey Bread, and one of my staff did this, one of the Garretts. Christian Schmitz is going to talk on live stream. Take 2. Action.
Thank you. So the first thing I want to show you today is if you install the plugin and you go to your custom functions dialog, you can define a custom function. Let me just define one, test A, B. So let's say we have this little custom function. We got here the MBS output and 2 buttons. So there's an execute button, there's a check syntax button.
So what we are doing is we've installed the Monkey Bread plugin, and we are running. We want to run simulations. We want to run custom functions without leaving the dialogue. Is that what we're trying to do to save time?
Yes.
Okay, good.
That's what we're trying to do.
That's what we're trying to do. See, I have to tee this up so everyone knows. Because everyone thinks we're still talking about the image conversion. So we have, okay, so take 3 action. We've changed the topic. We're still using a Monkey Bread Swiss Army knife, but what we're doing is we're doing this custom function simulation, which is great. So go ahead and open that up.
Yeah.
So now I understand what we're doing. I get it now.
Yeah. So we are in the edit custom function dialog for our custom function. And we want to run it with real values. So we make here a 3/ comment and put some values in. 6. And we can use the execute button and get here a number. So the plugin will execute our custom function and will use the values you give here for your test case. I hope that's great for you. Let's see, we can define variables several times.
I'm sorry, I was muted. That's awesome. I have a question. What are the
Yep.
3? Why do we have 3 there? Why are there 3?
Yeah, we decided to make it more clear that this is for the plugin. So normal comment is 2.
Yeah.
Then we have those assignment commands, and the plugin will read all your assignments and, of course, take the last one. It's these, so you can have several here and basically switch them on and off with an extra space.
Okay, let's walk us through this. So if we do, so FileMaker will ignore the comment because it sees the first 2, right? So FileMaker
Yes.
will automatically ignore it. And then you ignore
And
them.
the plugin will look for 3 slashes, some white space, optionally, and then there's a name for variable. And then there's an equal sign somewhere, and then there's a value. Could also be a string. English.
Okay.
So,
But you'd have to A and B. So it's running, but it runs the last one, is what you're saying. So it's pretty
Yes.
interesting. So it's not purely it's a comment, but it's kind of a comment. I'm assuming that this came from you from lots of years of experience and realizing you'd like to comment down, but just run the last one, right?
yeah, well, we made the execute button, and then people ask, yeah, well, how can I set the parameters? And we thought about how could we do that we don't interfere with FileMaker. So the idea was here, make a special comment with an assignment. You can have here a test case, and you can, of course, try various test cases. So you could say, there's.
Yep. So I'm going to bring up Discord over here real quick. So this is Kyle was just thinking what I was thinking. He goes, yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, absolutely, it's pretty cool. I totally agree. That's amazing.
And of course, the syntax check is always great. So I can make a check syntax and get here an error telling me about my syntax error. And as you see, the plugin already makes the bracket right.
I like this a lot because you could sit and just learn calculations with this and evaluate them on the screen without going to the data viewer, right? Because most of the time you do something, go to the data viewer, do something, go to the data viewer, and so, yeah, I kind of...
Yeah, like get account name, and just execute it here.
Right.
And work on your calculation. And especially, I like the syntax check, so I can be sure to that it works without closing the dialog.
Yeah, that's really, without closing the dialogue, it's a huge time saver. So for those of you wondering about this, my opinion would be that this is just one more reason to get the Swiss Army monkey, right? The Swiss Army monkey, right? So, yeah, so it's just one more reason. Now, it works on Windows too, right? Yes?
No, sorry.
What do you mean sorry? Don't give me that sorry. You're telling me it doesn't work on, it doesn't work on Windows?
It's only for macOS.
Oh, God! Oh! I'm sorry.
It's the reason people buy Macs.
I'm sorry. You're as bad as Christian Olsen is. So, oh, that's so funny. Yeah. So feel free to call me with your credit card when you're ready to get serious, right? Yeah. No, that's funny. That's what he says. Yeah, I was just checking to see if it works on Windows. So, most of your stuff works on Windows, though, right? In the Monkey Bread plugin, it's just this one thing
Yeah.
doesn't, right?
Yeah. So we do have functions for Windows. Let me see. So documentation, I click on Windows. I go to the bottom. 4,000 functions are for Windows. So we have some things for Windows. Okay, so let me just show you.
How do you get here? It's just custom functions, Canberra, right? A custom function, right? So, file, manage, right? Okay, stop. I don't know what you just did. Oh,
I just went to another space. So this is the dialog to specify a calculation for a field.
okay.
And you see we also got our field and the buttons here. So you can actually use that in several dialogues.
Oh, is it on the general? Is this a calculation field or is this a auto enter calc? That's an auto.
Yeah, that's an auto enter calc. Yeah.
Okay.
And you can just execute something here. So we not just made it for custom functions, but for all calculation dialogues.
Wow.
Like it's even in the data viewer, if I'm correct. Yeah, here. So you can execute with FileMaker, and you can execute with the MBS plugin here.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, well, if you develop it once, you can place it in several windows.
Yeah, of course. That's awesome. Let me see.
Yeah, so it shows up in 5, 6, 7 dialogues. So if you guys got this feature, we go to the next one.
Okay.
So let's maybe try. You want JavaScript first or with FileMaker functions first?
Well, hang on. I might have a question coming up here. People are typing. Let's give them a second to ask a question. Right.
Okay.
Larry says that's definitely terrific. I'll definitely use it. Nathan Schneider is, I'm sure, feverishly typing a question for us.
Let's go to the next thing.
All right.
Let's imagine. So usually you put your custom functions in a FileMaker file. And if you have a second file, you have to copy them over. Correct?
Yep.
So let's put the custom functions in a database. So here's a sample database. We define a function here. We have a field for the name. We have a porter here for our parameters. So there's 2 parameters. And this function has a body. That's actually the calculation for the function. And now we can run the function because we have some test values here. And this is actually call we have to make because those custom functions here are managed by the MBS plugin. And we can use them wherever you have the plugin available. So you can register a function in one file and then use them in all your files until FileMaker quits.
All right, so I'm going to invite Christian, the other Christian here. We have Christian 1 and Christian 2. So,
okay, so
this is keep going. You're good.
Yeah, when you type a custom function here, you can just type whatever you like, and we have a format button here, which is only for Mac, but the custom functions here work on Windows, Linux, and iOS too. The format thing is using our syntax highlighting, so it works on Mac and can colorize your calculation. Then we have a syntax check here. So if I type here again a wrong bracket, you will notice it will turn red, and I can make the syntax check, and it will again tell me that it's wrong.
Hey, Margaret, can you bring Christian Schmidt into this thread? Or not Christian Schmidt, Christian Olsen into this thread. Different Christian.
I'm inviting him to the call.
Okay, there we go.
and I can register the function and try it. And we have a couple of custom functions defined here. Like here's a math function to square a number.
Hey, Christian Olsen, different Christian, Christian 1, Christian 2. Hey, I have a question. Have you seen, I don't know if you can see on screen, but he is, Christian in Monkey Bread is storing custom functions in a table, so they're actually never loaded really as a custom function, I guess, up here. They're in a,
oh, interesting.
yeah. I mean, if you go to custom
It's
function,
empty.
it's empty. So he's loading them into his own thing.
This
And
is
then,
this is like what Nick Hunter does on Launchpad. This is cool.
yeah, I mean, he's actually showed a lot of cool stuff. Have you seen how you can comment stuff in his calculation with 3 forward slashes?
No.
Okay, you need to be here. You need to go back to basic training. So this is, I thought of you. Well, I didn't think of you until he goes, a couple things are Mac only. He goes, well, that's why people use Macs, right? And I'm like, because they want the superior platform. And I said, all I could hear is Christian Olsen going, yeah, feel free to give me your credit card when you're ready to take your order for your new Mac, right? So, which pisses off the Windows people. But I was laughing because the two Christians actually say the same thing, right? So.
Yeah, the fix to Windows is to go to apple.com.
The fix to Windows is to go to apple.com, right? Is there a sample file for this? Here it comes. Christian Schmitz is the sample file whore. He is. He has got sample
600.
files. Yeah, 600.
600?
Sample
You
file.
got me beat.
Yeah, the plugin comes with 600 examples all stuffed into folders. So,
Yep.
but these two files.
What? Insane.
Yeah,
cool.
I used to tell people you can get it done in a week. Yeah.
One of my clients was just talking to me how great Monkey Bread was this morning, and I was mentioning you, Christian, and he said, yeah, I tried to go through the documentation, but I think it's about 17,000 pages.
Yeah.
So many cool tools in
That's
there.
like that when Clara said had too many videos, right? And I'm like, well, if you just like to chop some features out of your product line, then I'd be happy to cut back on the videos we need, right? Seriously, true conversation. It was a marketing guy that was not there anymore. Oh my God.
So I make here another function. Let's say we can of course use FileMaker's JSON functions or call MBS functions.
Kyle's going to get aroused. Stand by. Kyle's getting aroused. He said JSON or Jason. You have to say it like that, right? So.
Yeah. And we can use recursion if we want, or we can call other functions. So this is the concat again function, which calls our concat function. Let me run it. Yeah, works. So it's always an MBS call, and the secret new function is fm.cf, FileMaker custom function. Then you specify a dictionary where the custom functions are stored, and we named it CF. So we don't have to sing a lot. It's always CF in this example. And then the name and the parameters.
I see what you did. Okay.
Yeah. So all our calls start with here. This always the same, and then you have the name of the custom function you defined, and this can be a calculation. So I won't run it. It would be recursive.
All right, so Alex, this is a lot to absorb for people who are fairly, I don't want to say new, but newer or haven't experienced this yet. So Alex says, where do you save the custom function file on the server? He says, it's a FileMaker file, right? See, you listen, Christian Schmitz, you didn't go to, there was no DevCon last 2 years. You're out of practice. You got to practice presenting this. So start at the beginning. So this is a file. Where do we stick this file at? Where do we stick it at?
You can put it on the server, on the client, on iOS if you like.
So it's a FileMaker file, and if you have like starting point or something like that, you just load it up there. Or it could be a table. It could be a table inside your file, right? Could it also be a table in your file?
Yes. Usually people may want to have an extra file for custom functions and just reference the start script there. Like here's our start script. So the key here is we create a dictionary, which is a place to store values by keys. And we can have as many dictionaries as we want with different names, so we can have different namespaces. And for our example, we use a dictionary named CF for custom function. And then we go to the layout for the custom functions and we loop over the records and register all the functions.
How much overhead is that to do that? Like if you had
Well, that's
20
a
20 of
script
them.
which runs in a fraction of a second when you launch the file. It's the time is to go through the records, and usually that takes longer than.
Can I ask a
Then
question
register the
that
function.
might have been covered at the beginning of the session? I just missed it. Did you make this so that you could have a single library of custom functions across different files?
Yeah, it was an idea at the .fmp conference a few weeks ago that people wanted to have the central database for the custom functions.
Wait.
So-
Stop. So, Christian, the answer is yes, right? It's a single
Yes.
file. It's a dictionary. You can take it anywhere, reference it on servers and stuff. But this idea was from 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, well, I wrote it while the conference.
So the idea came out
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, and you have, I'm going to say this kind of crassly, but
Oh, it was 4 weeks ago. It was early June, and we talked about it on one day. The next day I coded it, and third day I showed it.
so you this out in one day.
Yeah, basically. And this is the second version because the first one was the other one with JavaScript.
You know, too bad Ellen's not here. We'd have a really good meme for this, right? I don't know what to say when, I mean, I mean, Christian, I mean, one day.
I can't wait to get the demo file because especially knowing that the FM Butler products are going to no longer be supported, this is a tool that I'm really interested in using.
Okay, so let me explain a little bit. So we register the function by putting the text of the function in a dictionary, and we pass in the name. We pass a special comment on the beginning to declare the parameter names, and then we pass in the body of the function. But this is done here automatically for you. If you just copy the script, you can just use the interface to put in your custom functions. And then when we try a function, you can just try it by running something like we have here the sample code. So you can just run this anywhere in a data viewer in a different file, doesn't matter. Hello. Out. The plugin will look up the dictionary, so you can have different namespaces for different developers. And
You could have the KO dictionary and the,
yeah, you could have different dictionaries for different people.
or different tasks, you know, like jobs and or like kind of, wow. So Ken has a
It's your
question.
choice.
Ken has a question. If you put the file in your solution, is there any relationships needed?
Relationships. Oh, well, there is one from the custom function to the parameter
Okay.
within the file.
So you're gonna attach your, so if you're referencing this in your, say like a copy of starting point for simplicity, and then you have this custom function file loaded on the server, and you have 4 or 5 copies of starting point running there for different projects.
Yeah.
You create a relationship in starting point to each of those files, right? One
Yeah,
relationship.
you create but basically you just need to trigger the script in the other file. And here we have a little check to make sure that the dictionary doesn't exist yet. Otherwise, it would recreate it every time.
Christian,
you
you,
run the script.
I don't know if you saw, this is the startup script which initializes it, so it comes over here and loops through the records over here to find all your, and it's apparently pretty quick, and then that's part of your startup script.
Yeah, I can just run it. Yeah.
Christian Olsen, the other Christian.
Sorry, I wasn't sure if you're talking to me. Yeah, this is.
I know,
this is
that's
really
why I don't
cool.
like 2 Garretts, right? I got 2 Christian, now I got 2 Garretts. You guys are killing me.
This is really cool.
Yeah. Okay. And now you have seen that. Let's go a level higher and say we use JavaScript instead. So this is basically the same file, the same functions, but this is JavaScript. and this is FileMaker. So again, we can register the function and we can run it. And the call is here, javascript.cf, pass in the name of the function and the values. Okay, so the start script is quite similar. Instead of a dictionary, we initialize a JavaScript environment and give it our special name, JS. So this is a global JavaScript environment, which again sits in the memory as long as FileMaker runs. So we can again loop over the functions and register them. And in JavaScript, we just call JavaScript add function. Again, our name of the environment, the function name, and then we build a JavaScript function declaration. The function has a keyword function, then there is a parameter list, and then there is actually the JavaScript body.
So this is very cool.
Yeah, once this is, so let me just go to data view and try this function. So this is, again, hello, semicolon, world, and now it's running in JavaScript. But the question is, how do you know? Good question. Let's see, we have some more JavaScript function here.
Kyle Williams.
Yes.
Kyle, you're awful quiet. Are you still there, Kyle? Are you?
He did have a question.
maybe
Is there a function to look up the current custom functions loaded into the specific dictionary of the custom function?
Yeah, since we use for the custom functions, we use a dictionary. You have all those dictionary functions here. Like you can load them different ways. You can use SQL to load them. You can get them from JSON or later export it from to say JSON. You can get a list of all the keys here. This would be the key list with the names you defined. So you can use all our usual functions here for the custom functions. And there's a new one here. There's a little bit text, and here are some examples. So while we are using JavaScript, we can use functions in JavaScript, like here the built-in split and join functions. And this example will just take some text and replace the delimiter. You know, it's a little example function to do something. And let's say another function, we use the JSON functions, right, in JavaScript to pass some string you pass in. And then we do something on the JavaScript and we return it. And you may benefit from using all the different JavaScript JSON functions and do some JavaScript processing there. Let's try it. Okay, it returns world because that's the value here. And what is my fifth function? Oh yeah, we can call JavaScript function from our JavaScript custom function. So we can have here a new function, concat again, which calls the concat function. And because we are in the JavaScript already, it's just the concat function here.
Well, wow. Question from Moki. Does this mean that we can store jQuery, databases.js, etc. locally? And is it faster than calling it externally from a CDN, content delivery network or something?
Yeah. So the thing you have to distinguish here with the JavaScript is this is our own JavaScript engine. It's not a browser. So it doesn't have a couple of things a browser offers you, like a document tree. It's more like pure JavaScript without the browser part. And it can run on the server this way. So it may not make sense to try something like jQuery. But we have this example already in our collection. So if you go here on the examples, JavaScript, we have the phone number library here. So this is a JavaScript library we have here in a text field on the bottom. Let me just copy this into a new document. So we have here something like 200 kilobytes of JavaScript embedded in a text field.
Yep.
And then in the start script, we go and push all this JavaScript from the field right to the JavaScript engine, which will initialize this library code. And then at any time, we can just call the JavaScript functions defined in this library.
Okay, so there's a question here, and I'm trying to catch. Moki, I'm as confused as you are on this a little bit because I don't do enough heavy-duty coding. But Moki says, okay, I'm dumb. Can you tell us in simple terms why we might want to do this? What is the benefit, right?
So let's say if you have a bigger solution with, let's say, 20 files, and you like to centrally store your custom functions, this is for you.
Part about the Java, the Java part.
The JavaScript is great because you can use all the nice JavaScript things. And maybe you like JavaScript more than FileMaker calculations.
Right, but so you're saying, so why would we put the JavaScript in a library here as opposed to calling them across the network or across some?
Well, you can have this phone library, this phone number library, run locally within your FileMaker without using a network, without using a web viewer.
There you go.
And it can
there
run
you go.
in a,
all right, so that was
function.
what we were looking for. So that's, I think, at least my perspective. Moki, yeah. So you just wrote that. So the benefit is centrally stored library. The trick is you got to make sure that it stays up to date. See, keeping libraries up to date is like, yeah, it would be definitely faster. See, if you have a locally stored library, you can count on it being there and being reliable, but it doesn't get patched and updated, right? Which is good and bad, right? I mean, this is one of those things that, you know, if you're dependent upon this content delivery network to bring it to you, and there's an issue with that network, then you have an outage. That's bad. Having a local is better for performance, but if someone makes an important fix and you don't know about it and you don't get the benefit because you have to refresh your local library, right? So it's kind of a interesting kind of conversation, right?
Yeah, I have a couple of bigger customers doing SPA or working in-house for bigger solutions, and they could highly benefit from having their custom functions either defined in a database in general or in JavaScript, and then just initialize that in their start file and then use it everywhere.
Okay, Moki, question. So, but if your solution moves away from your library, the solution won't have the CFs embedded. When you said moves away from your library, if let's just use starting point for now. Everyone knows it's a free CRM. So if, say you build it in starting point, and then you're connected and you're talking to that custom functions file, or this file over here that he has built up, this one over here, right? If you have a dependency on that and then you separate the files from each other, then yeah, you've got a breakdown in the action, right? So you would take a copy. Well, no, you could actually relationally connect to it across to another server, right? You could actually have the custom functions running on, say, our server A, and you could have solutions referencing that remote file on FileMaker server B, C, and D, right? You could do it. You could access the file. Yeah. So. Yeah, you just have to have a path to that, right? I mean, you know, obviously access. I mean, that's the thing that people do when they get really big solutions. They start to break them into multiple files, right?
So, of course, this requires the MBS plugin to work. But, well, if it's your solution and you have a license, you can use it everywhere. Do we have some other questions?
I'm looking. There was one that asked about, is it included in MBS 11.2? But I assume it's 11.3,
it's
right?
already on the website in 11.3. So if you go on our website,
which I can also link directly to.
Usually you go on the blog and there you read about, oh, there's a new version. And then you click here on the pre-release section and you find the downloads, and you can sort them by date if you like. And there is a disk image and for Mac and a zip file for Windows and Linux. But the content is the same in general.
Got it. Okay, so we do have we have one question on Twitch, which is from Labo404. And he says it's easy to replace actual custom functions by this method.
Well, technically, if you place one, you have to find it everywhere. So you may do a DDR report and use one of those analyzing tools to find all the calls to your custom function. It's easier for new development, of course.
Got it. Hopefully that answers your question, Labo404. Moki, this is basically Christian has created an awesome function to make FileMaker totally and usable out on. Yeah, I don't know of any of our developers that don't use Monkey Bread. Kyle says he's not finding. Well, you just linked it, so.
Just go on the download area on the pre-release versions. It shouldn't be very hard to find. So you're on the website, then you go on maybe download, and there is a beta version, and it will be available as a final version next month, because, well, we can't get it finished in an hour. But this will come in our release for July. Yeah. Usually we make a release in July in time for DEF CON, but, well,
we don't have that this year, unfortunately, as far as I'm aware. So, well, speaking of which, what are you going to be adding? What other new stuff are you planning on adding to the July release? Since you did this in like 3 days.
Well, since we only have a week 2 left for this release, we will do a little bit more documentation, maybe fix a few bugs we find. Like I just saw one here in the example, like you see here, there's a comma. It should be a semicolon. So
got it.
This is a little thing. There's the little things we have to find and fix. Maybe we can find some new examples here, like some cool JavaScript we could do, or maybe I can look
I'm sure there's a host of that. No, seriously, like every time you present and the amount of stuff you just drop is just staggering. Absolutely staggering.
Oh, yeah, well, this is all in addition to our existing functions. Like if you do the JavaScript thing and you go here, you can see all the different functions we have. And
so you can just stack all that custom function calling on top of your existing JavaScript functions. And
yeah, that are existing JavaScript functions. So you can actually use JavaScript models if you like. Here, the init models thing, you can define a JavaScript function to call back here to evaluate in FileMaker. So you can define that with a given name, there should be a function fm_eval here. And if that's called, it would call through to FileMaker and evaluate whatever you like. And that's a way to have the JavaScript access your fields in FileMaker, if you like. Or just a get function.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah. Like you could make a JavaScript function which queries the list of field names on the current layout, then walks over this list and gives you back a JSON with all the field names and values in a big JSON block.
How long does it take that for it to chunk through and do that? I guess it depends on database size, right?
Yeah, I just see a comment here. The function count is always outdated. So there's a statistic function. What's that? That's wrong. Well, it's difficult. So,
and then there's one from Moki, does
how
the
many
MBS.
are listed here? There are 6. Why this? No listing is okay. This listing is probably missing the deprecated functions, which is another 200, and the old names are 90. Well, we may have to check the count on the various pages. Yeah. Okay. Then you can define a SQL function. So you can have a JavaScript function which is allowed to do SQL queries to your FileMaker back. So you could, for example, have it do a SQL call, maybe convert something to JSON and return it. Or maybe do some statistics based on the values you get, whatever. And the third way is to have a run script function. So you can have JavaScript, which then can trigger a script. We provide the tools. You have to.
Yeah, no, everything's available. You just got to figure out. Moki does have a question. Does the MBS set private browsing work on 19.3 Windows?
No. Since Claris has changed to using WebView 2 component, well, that broke all our WebViewer functions there, except if you use our own WebViewer, which is still using IE. So it's a bit sad, but
well,
the private browsing feature is working on Mac. So you can look here on 11.3. Those are new functions coming for the next version. And there we have private browsing for the web viewer on Mac currently, because I had a client asking for it explicitly. Yeah, sometimes you need it. On the web viewer on Windows currently, you have the other way. People are asking me for permanent storing the cookies. Like you're always private browsing on Windows with 19.3. But well.
But now you can store cookies. That's speaking of which, do you want to like come back and do another live stream all the stuff that you're adding? Because
well, I hope to find a few new ideas here. So if people have ideas for the next version, let me know.
Basically, if there's stuff that you would like Monkey Bread to do that it somehow doesn't already do.
Yeah. By the way, if you want to go to the preference dialog, you can also use the help menu.
Oh, I didn't realize you had a help menu. That makes sense.
Well, I just thought about it. I don't want to click here through preferences and plugins and then MBS, double click. I just want to go here on the help menu.
That's a nice shortcut. I hope our users just heard that the creator of Monkey Bread asked for what you guys want in the product.
Yeah, that's all the functions we have exist because someone asked for them.
I think you're about to get a lot of Windows requests by the looks of it.
Yeah. So when I tell people we have this in the menu, I always have to tell them this is only if the plugin thinks you are a developer. If you are just a normal user, we disable some things until you've opened the script workspace the first time. So if you have a custom solution and your users won't see this until maybe they go to, well, the plugin sees they are developers. So, yeah, I am still trying to update my web viewer functions for the new Edge engine. Yeah, I haven't got it working yet. I'm not sure if I can get it working.
Well, if there's anyone who could do it, it would be you. But if you can't do it, then I'm just going to call that one.
What's that?
It's not possible.
How are we doing? Good?
We're doing great. No, Christian's amazing, unshockingly. But we were just discussing the fact that people want some Windows functions, and Christian was just saying, well, I'm trying to get it working. We'll see if I can. I'm like, well, if there's anyone who could get it working, it would be you. And if you can't, then it's probably impossible.
Right, like Christian, the other Christian said, Christian number 1 or Christian 2, whatever the hell we call the other one, like the other Garrett, he said that the issue for Windows is to visit apple.com. So I kind of got past having those fights. I let people pick whatever the hell they want, but I really ask that I try to make sure the features are as cross-platform as possible. I really hate one site only. But Monkey Bread, even looking at what it does, it delivers probably 90% to the Windows side, but it does deliver some things to Windows only that Mac doesn't do, right? I'm pretty sure that's in there too. So it's kind of a thing, right? So yeah, Moki understands that, and I'm very sensitive, Moki. I hate going to people and telling them no. I hate to say no.
I'm really missing the flights and the airport launches because this find feature here, I wrote it in airport launch, waiting for my flight to DEF CON.
Yeah,
so I just added it while waiting for my flight, and I really miss having those time in the sitting around and wondering what I could do, and then you have maybe the email from a user asking you, could we do this or could we do that? And you think, okay, I'll give it a try. I have nothing better to do.
Yeah, that's always useful that way.
Yeah, we could do some improvements here, but usually I may want to have the next Claris video about the roadmap and see what they are doing, so I can do the other things.
Yeah, well, they have been, yeah. And
like if they would put on the roadmap an improvement on the script workspace, I would pause all my efforts there and wait for what they are showing.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I just don't know. I don't know, and I don't want to speculate because whatever I speculate will be wrong. But so Nathan, Nathan, where are you from again? You said that was, I can't remember. You told me where you're back, but then it was scrolled up there. Where or is it? Hang on, let me click on that. No, it's not.
Cape Town.
It was
Town.
Cape Town. It was Cape Town. So Nathan from Cape Town says, MBS has saved me a number of times. Thank you for an awesome plugin. Larry from the Marine Corps says, this is just amazing. Kyle says, I love that he added the script IDs to the script workspace window. Thank you. Nathan Schneider. Yeah. Oh, the other Nathan. Yeah, I know that. I try to explain this to Chris. Now we have more than one Nathan. It's very confusing, right? And I have this one guy, brand new Garrett, and people are like, which Garrett? I don't know, Garrett 2, right? And the Garrett 1's going to be pissed when I start calling him Garrett 1, right? So, yeah. So.
Actually, I'm not sure if people know that. Let's make a custom script here. Make here a test script showing a dialog box. Mm-hmm. And then make a next script and say we use a plugin to run something. FM run script, get file name. And now I don't put in the script name because I know the ID is 10, so I can just put in a 10. And something is broken. Sorry.
What kind of a person are you? What kind of a horrible person?
This is when I spontaneously try something. Why is it not working here?
Nothing like sticking it out, going butt naked in front of the audience, but no net.
Sorry.
You're playing without a net. Playing without a net, right? Kyle, please make a video on how to create JavaScript library for all your solutions using MBS. There we go. Yeah, Kyle says, I love being able to use the script IDs instead of the names. This is great. Awesome. Thank you very much.
We edited.
Yep. So everyone's in love with this. So Christian 1, are you there?
I'm still here. Oh.
Yeah, see, welcome to my world, right? So someday Christian 1 will figure out that.
You can just call me Wolf while Christian's on here.
Well, I
He's
could call you
longer
Wolf,
than I have.
but what happens when I hire the next Christian? You know, and it's a junior.
You're going to hire another Christian, really?
I'm going to make a point of making sure the next guy we hire is Christian to torture you. So then when I complain about stuff, you take me seriously. So yes, the next person will be named Christian. So, all right. Well, do you have anything else for Christian number 2?
I don't at the moment. I think that this is great. I want to go and play with it, and I still wish I knew all the different stuff that was in the Monkey Bread platform. But
you're going to memorize 65. What would the person say? They're going to memorize 17,000 pages of text? I don't think so.
There's quite a bit in there, but I appreciate how responsive Christian is. Like him saying to you guys, like, "Hey, tell me stuff to be in the platform." If you guys don't know this, part of the whole relationship that started to get Christian on here on the streams was I had a bug in the plugin that was driving me crazy, and I reached out, and to my surprise, Christian reached out really quickly, got me a beta that fixed my issue, and then ended up patching it, and that was great because I use this plugin daily.
All right, so if people want the Monkey Bread plugin, I'm going to wrap things up here. I would just do a search for Monkey Bread space FileMaker, and you'll come to this website right here, monkeybreadsoftware.de, which is German, I think, and you can come over here to somewhere there's like go buy it. I don't know, where's the buy button at? Buy. How do you buy it? Where's the buy button? Home, applications, team, site, links.
Well, first you would go on FileMaker. And now you're on
there we go.
.com.
Down there. And then you get buy now right here in the buy now button.
Yeah.
Okay, can I just encourage all of you that after you bought my training, please go buy the plugin. Okay, because you have to have the training first to even know how to turn on FileMaker. Once you have that, then you need the plugin to make your lives better. So, awesome stuff, everyone. Thank you, Christian. That's great. Any final thoughts? Yes.
Yes, please send me new ideas for my summer vacation.
So if someone has an idea of something, let me know. Okay, I have an idea. Cool. And email him about the what do we email? How do we say email? Contact us. Hit the contact button. You can put that in right here if you want to have the contact button there. Or he probably has an email. What is it? Is it support at
support at monkeybreadsoftware.de. Yeah, so pretty awesome. So I highly recommend it. Very good stuff. And like I said, we eat our own dog food, so we use this every day. And Garrett #1 was using this today and did a great demo. I showed that earlier. So that's it for day tomorrow. Margaret, what's on tap tomorrow?
Tomorrow is you and me.
Quick authoring. We're gonna play a game of experimental surgery. We're gonna play doctor, scalpel, right? So we're gonna kind of test you. It'll feel like a test, but it's not a test. We're gonna record your feedback in a video. We're gonna do exactly what we want other people to do for Claris. We're gonna go through kind of a review of it, of their new quick authoring, the latest version of quick authoring. And we're just going to experiment. What does it do? What does not it do? Claris is asking for feedback. Some of us will do that, and that will help to make, frankly, because the tech that's in the quick authoring is what's going into the next major overhaul of the FileMaker platform, which they have started on. So if you want to know what the future of FileMaker kind of looks like in terms of how it interacts and operates and stuff, it does look a lot like the quick app authoring. Although it will be FileMaker Pro fully loaded, right? They're not going to strip features out. It's just that kind of that web tech, right? If you've seen that web tech and the quick app authoring. So I guess I'm supposed to like foreshadow it without foreshadowing. So since I don't know anything, I can't really say anything. But
let's simply say if you could just go on your browser on the server and edit a script quickly, you would be happy to fix a bug, maybe.
Yeah, and so
or move a button for a user.
Yep.
It's a typo, whatever.
And if it's professional grade stuff that's working, right, then does that give us better web access, right? Is it better than WebDirect, right? Because WebDirect has these kind of serious limitations, right? So, and Claris is aware of that, right? I'll just leave this was funny. Someone said, oh, Claris should use WebDirect for ETS. And Claris is acutely aware how much WebDirect sucks, right? I mean, it's useful for limited applications, but any big serious apps with a lot of stuff, you need to have Pro or Go or something like that. And so I was laughing. I didn't get into the conversation because some of these people don't know that. I guess they haven't figured out that WebDirect sucks. Claris knows it sucks. There's no way they'll use it internally unless it's something super simple, super lightweight. I was laughing. But yeah, I think the FileMaker platform is going to see a lot of really exciting, positive changes over the next year or so, or maybe 24 months. Not bad. I don't. If I was bad, I'd be freaking out. But I'm pretty optimistic about that. I do want to point out that Jake Sheely, one of the people here in the live stream, is going to be joining us as a presenter over here on this day on Thursday, July 8th. He's going to be here and talking about some stuff. And so, if you are a live stream watcher and you want to have, you have some great demo, you want to talk to us about something or check something out, or you want to show something, and we can, kind of vet it, make sure that there's a good thing in there, then we will connect you and let you present for the day. It's no problem at all. So I want to say thank you to everyone on Discord, YouTube, and Twitch. Thank you for Christian Schmitz, Christian #2, for coming and doing this. This is great. It's awesome. All right. Everyone, that's it? Cool. All right. Well, that's it for now.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
That's it. Have a good day, everyone. Thank you.
And the guys just stepped up the whole way. Calm, cool, collected. The quarterback, great read, good patience. More importantly, great job up front protecting this quarterback to give you a chance. And that's all you can ask for.
Try to rally down 10. 9:25 to go here in the fourth. Short motion by Amendola from the left. Brady takes the shotgun snap, stands in, throws it left for Amendola, reaches up and snacks a high throw and lands inside the 10, rolling to the 9. Ball slightly behind him, but Danny makes the grab.